And joining us now, retired Admiral James Stavridis, who served as NATO's Supreme Allied Commander, overseeing its mission in Afghanistan from 2009 to 2013, and John Brennan, who served as CIA Director during the Obama administration, both NBC News security analysts. Gentlemen, good morning to you. Admiral, I keep thinking about the troops who woke up this morning in Afghanistan and went back under extraordinary circumstances, a danger that really can't be mitigated. How do you keep U.S. troops and Afghan allies safe in a situation like this?
Let's start by thinking about those 13 families who are waking up undoubtedly the worst day of their lives. I know it was a bad day for the president. It was a terrible day for those families. Savannah, there's no good solution here. And as I said a couple of times over the past few weeks, we are one truck bomb, one C-17 shoot down, one shootout at the KIA corral away from this mission going sideways. We can still pull this thing off. It's going to require total focus, doing everything we can to push the perimeter out, cooperating with the Taliban to do so, mitigating every conceivable threat, particularly threats against aircraft. Let's get this thing done by the 31st and step away.
Director Brennan, the Taliban, as mentioned, is providing the first layer of security, which is just stunning to even contemplate that that's the situation we're in, to rely on the Taliban for American security. But what options do we have? What leverage do we have with the Taliban to say, step it up?
Well, Savannah, we have no alternative but to work closely with the Taliban. They control the area outside of that airport. And so therefore, we have to interact with them. We're not relying on them, but in terms of making sure that they're doing everything possible to prevent individuals who have a terrorist agenda from getting close to that airport. Again, this is something that I think we know that the Taliban is not an organization that we would naturally work with. And also, there is concern that ISIS-K, the group that carried out this attack, is composed of a lot of former Taliban members. And so, therefore, infiltrating the Taliban by the ISIS organization is something that I think we have to be very wary of.
Absolutely. And Admiral, I mean, how likely is it that we see another attack like this or worse in these coming days?
I think better than even. And Director Brennan knows this better than anybody. But these kind of attacks tend to go in waves. Think about 3 to 4 years ago, and you felt like every month you were seeing a spectacular ISIS attack somewhere around the world. That's the DNA of this group. It's quite horrific to contemplate that. I would say what we ought to be thinking about is what do we do going forward? As John Brennan said, we're going to have to work with the Taliban. Think World War II. We worked with Stalin in order to overcome the Nazis. This is not dissimilar. We've got to find ways to keep eyes on intelligence in Afghanistan. We've got to be able to go over the horizon and to conclude, as President Biden said, never forgive, never forget, echoing the Borgias. The other saying is revenge is a dish best eaten cold. Let's focus on getting out of KIA airport. Job next is finding ISIS-K and putting them at the bottom of the Indian Ocean alongside bin Laden.
Well, that leads me exactly to where I wanted to head with the former CIA director among us, John Brennan. I mean, the president said we won't forgive or forget. We will retaliate. In practical terms, what could that mean?
Well, we still have some intelligence assets that we can use in terms of overhead collection capabilities. I know that U.S. intelligence officers continue to run sources inside of Afghanistan. And so what we're trying to do now, I'm certain, is to understand where the ISIS leadership resides, where these operatives are, to take the actions that are necessary to prevent a follow-on attack, but also to get to the heart of that organization. And this is something that I know that President Biden is determined to do. We have a clock that is ticking down to the 31st of August. I do believe that President Biden will stay focused on that departure date. But between now and then, there is an enormous challenge. It's a very, very dangerous security environment. But the U.S. military, U.S. intelligence, and others, I think, are going to do their absolute best to prevent any more loss of life on the part of U.S. military or civilian personnel.
And a final word from you, Admiral, in the moments we have left. As you know, the administration is under fierce criticism from Democrats and Republicans alike for the execution and the handling of this withdrawal. They say, the administration says, in essence, it was never going to be pretty. Chaos was, in some sense, inevitable when you withdraw from Afghanistan. But couldn't it have gone better than this? Haven't there been pretty egregious mistakes made here?
It certainly could have gone better. And I think we need to pull that apart and figure it out. And there's blame all the way around here, from the collapse of the Afghan military, which the U.S. military, and I count myself in that number, trained. We're not perfect intelligence. There never is. The Taliban stepped up in war. The enemy gets a vote. They perform superbly, frankly. We're going to pull all that apart, Savannah. Job one right now is to get out of this situation with all of the Americans and as many Afghans as we possibly can. The next job is going after ISIS-K, and I'm sure we're going to continue to work to get the remaining Afghan allies out. If we have to create an underground railroad to do so, we'll do it. We've got work to do in Afghanistan, but now is the time to leave tactically.
All right. Admiral Stavridis, former CIA Director Brennan, thank you very much.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.